Forever Green presents 11 animals you won't believe actually exist. Number 1. The Blue Angel Glaucus Atlanticus. At first, people think it's not a real creature. Actually, it's a funny looking animal that spends its life floating upside down on the surface of the Pacific, Atlantic and Indian Ocean. And also it seems just a harmless creature that likes to relax in the water. But this slender up to 3 cm long animal, which is called the blue glaucus, is not nearly as innocent as it seems. The first trick it's got up its sleeve is a form of camouflage called countershading that protects it from both flying and swimming predators while it floats. Secondly, it can swallow its prey's stinging cells without hurting itself. Its prey is Portuguese man-o'-war, whose sting is very painful to humans. Number 2. The desert lover Gobi Jerboa. The Gobi Jerboa was discovered in 1925 by Glover Morrell Allen. It is found in the Gobi Desert located in the northern China as well as in the southern Mongolia and is considered to be the most desert-loving out of all Gobi rodents. One of the most prominent features of the Gobi Jerboa are their ears, since they are almost 3 times as large as their heads. Their large ears give them an extra keen hearing sense, which helps to serve as extra protection in their vulnerable environment to cool their bodies by dissipating heat. Its long tail helps to accelerate bipedal gallop. Number 3. The Deep Sea Goblin Shark. They feel comfortable living in the very deep parts of the water close to the floor of the ocean. They don't like to be exposed to the sunlight, so they are sometimes referred to as vampire sharks. The numbers of them are not even able to be estimated due to the lack of sightings of them. Some persons who have seen them in the water report disabled and disfigured sharks. They assume this is some type of species that has been born with genetic concerns. Since goblin sharks live at the bottom of the water, they tend to feed on the organisms like stingrays, mollusks, and crabs which resides in the same depth. They do feed quite frequently, which is interesting. The goblin shark has a very large liver which is usually found in sharks that don't eat very often. Number 4. Hummingbird Hawk-Moth. The Hummingbird Hawk-Moth is named for its straw-like mouth and its hovering behavior, which accompanied by an audible humming noise give it remarkable resemblance to a hummingbird as it visits flowers to feed on nectar. Their requirement for the carbohydrates they use to power their rapid and constant wing movement is so strong that they will continue to feed even as they are mating. Actually, it's a large sphinxed moth found in warm climates in Europe, North Africa and Asia. It is a strong flyer, dispersing widely in the summer, but it rarely survives the winter in northern latitudes. Number 5. The rare purple frog. This frog has a highly distinctive and somewhat comical appearance, with a hugely bloated body and short, stout limb. It has been found in western Ghats of India. Known from only 135 individuals, of which only 3 are female, the purple frog is thought to be an extremely rare species. This species is threatened by ongoing forest loss for cultivation. Pig-nosed frogs spend most of the year underground, coming out in the surface only for about 2 weeks each year to reproduce. This is why the species had gone unnoticed for so long by biologists until 2003, when it was officially described. Mating occurs during the pre-monsoon rains, primarily in May. Males use strange calls to attract females. Number 6. The boxer mantis shrimp. The mantis shrimp is one of the most interesting crustaceans found in the ocean. Mantis shrimp are only about 4 inches long, but pound for pound are one of the strongest animals in the world. They use clubs that are more like elbows than fists to punch their prey, with the force of a bullet shot from a .22 caliber gun. This incredible force is important for hunting food, easily breaking the shells of prey like crabs and clams. When captured, scientists kept mantis shrimp in strong plastic tanks because their punch could break a glass tank. But they are not just strong, they are fast too. They have the fastest predatory strike in the ocean, swinging in less than 800 microseconds. In the time it takes you to blink an eye, the mantis shrimp could theoretically punch 500 times. Number 7. Irrawaddy Dolphin. They have a flexible neck which accounts for the creases at the back of the head. Interesting thing is these dolphins have a smiling face. I don't know why, but they always smile. Diving is very frequent for this dolphin species. Every 70 to 150 seconds they have to come up for air. Often it is only the head and perhaps the body that is seen when they surface for air. It is very seldom that you will see the Irrawaddy dolphin with the tail out of the water. They are highly social, but there may be from 3 to 6 members per pod. They are very curious about their surroundings and have been observed looking around when they surface for air to see what is around them. The Irrawaddy dolphin has long and wide flippers. They can be from 70 inches to 108 inches long. They can weigh from 215 to 350 pounds. They have been found around the Philippines and India. Number 8. Japanese Big Spider Crab. The Japanese spider crab are known for having long, spindly legs. These are mostly limited to the Pacific side of the Japanese islands. Although not the heaviest, the Japanese giant spider crab is the largest non-living arthropod. The well-calcified carapace is only around 37 centimeters long, but adult specimens can be nearly 4 meters long. These large crustaceans generally do not hunt, but instead crawl along and pick at dead and decaying matter along the seabed. This includes both animal and plant matter. They occasionally eat living kelp and algae. Although they move slowly, giant crabs occasionally hunt for small marine invertebrates that they can catch easily. Japanese spider crabs most often inhabit the sandy and rocky bottom of the continental shelf and slope at an average depth of 150 to 300 meters. Number 9. Deadly Lamprey. Lampreys are some of the most primitive vertebrates alive today. They are known as cyclostomes, which means round mouths and refers to the fact that they are jawless, having instead a round sucker-like mouth. Lampreys are freshwater, eel-shaped, jawless fishes. Many lampreys are parasites. They attach on other fishes by means of their sucker, scrape their skin with their rasping tongue, and suck their blood. The sucker is also for them a means to travel upstreams in rivers. They use it to attach on stones to rest. The sucker which surrounds the mouth is strengthened by a ring-shaped annular cartilage and bears numerous horny denticles which can rotate on the tip of a retractable piston cartilage. They attach themselves so tightly that the victims are not usually able to shake them off, despite the sufferings they incur from these parasitic fish. The wounds made by the lampreys can cause death in the victims. Number 10. Lowland Streaked Tenrec. An extraordinary looking family, the tenrecs exist only in Madagascar. Their normal length is 16 to 19 cm and weighs around 90 to 220 grams. Members of the subfamily Tenrecini look like a cross between a shrew and a hedgehog, with long pointed snouts and spines amongst their fur. It is blackish brown with yellowish stripes running the length of the body and a yellowish band running from the crown to the tip of the snout. It has detachable spines which are most numerous on the crown. The underside is chestnut brown with soft hairs. Mothers and young communicate by vibrating specialized quills on their mid-dorsal region, creating a low-pitched noise. These tenrecs also make crunch and putt-putt sounds, particularly when agitated. Number 11. Naked Mole Rat. The naked mole rats are not totally naked either. They have about 100 hairs on their body meant to help them with digging and navigating their tunnel system. They have sharp, long teeth but do not have lips. They live their entire lives underground. If it gets cold, they form a huddle and heat each other. Each colony has a minimum of 20 individuals, though some colonies have as many as 300 and their territory may stretch for a half a mile. They are low on oxygen, smelly and often crowded. Actually, naked mole rats eat their poop. That's because they also eat tubers, their main food source, which can be difficult to digest on the first pass. So once they have pooped out their food, they just ingest it again. Also, since the naked mole rats are nearly blind, they identify themselves as part of the colony by rolling around in the poop chambers. That way, everyone stinks exactly the same and colony members can be easily identified. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and share this video and subscribe our channel.